Hey guys, Chairman here. We're moving along with our series of Holo TD upgrades. Today we're going to be looking at Gen 3, arguably the best TD out of all the Hololive TDs. Let's get right to it. So let's take a look at the TD contents here. First of all, I just have to say this TD is so good. There's so much just really powerful stuff in this TD. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start at level 0 where we have this modding, which is a pay 1, clock yourself from the top card of the deck, and you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose any character to add to your hand. This is way better than some of the other clock, and then look at top 3. So definitely a really strong, kind of like a rekey effect. Just, you know, fantastic that we have this in the TD. We also have this Pekora, which is a solid card. This was printed as the Yukiho in Million Life and also the Ishigami in Kaguya. Pump 2k on attack and it can run to back row. Solid card. We have the level 1 flare combo. That's honestly the best TD combo they have in any of the TDs. Combos on a choice, which is really good. Power cross turn, gets twin drive, and also you can look at the top card add. So usually the top card add is not very good, but combined with twin drive, giving you the extra trigger checks, that's what makes it really consistent. And the fact that it's big on both players' turns means you can protect it really well with the counters, which you can get from the choice that you trigger. This 1-0 mounting is pretty solid as well. And then we have the Brainstorm and the 2-1 combo that summons the Ruxia out at level 2. And this Ruxia is so good at level 2 because you can combo, summon out another Ruxia, and now you have 2 Ruxias with hand encore. And if your opponent doesn't hard remove it, you can encore both of them. The next turn you play the combo again, then you can summon out another thing and then add something to your hand, shuffle back 4 cards, and this Ruxia is just so powerful on the board at level 2. You can summon out the Marine for free heals at level 2. It's just so crazy. This Ruxia is honestly so good. If you guys have seen some of the meta Hololive lists, they are playing this Ruxia, they are playing this Brainstorm, they are playing this Flare, so definitely most of the cards in this trial deck will make it to a meta deck of some sort. Even the event is pretty good. Like, this event is not like, it's not amazing, but it's definitely really good. You can salvage 2, ditch 1, perfect for getting the pieces that you need from your waiting room to set up your Ruxia combos and all that stuff. So honestly, phenomenal trial deck, probably the best trial deck out of all of the Hololive trial decks, at least in my opinion. We don't have to do too much to improve this trial deck, so definitely worth buying if you're looking to get into Hololive as a set. Now let's start looking at ways we can improve this trial deck to make it even better. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this 0 Ruxia beater. It's not the greatest, and we're going to put in another 0 Ruxia beater. This is the rare from the Brewster set. I only pulled 1 copy, but you know, it's 4 copies of a rare. This Ruxia is 3500 power if you have 1 or less other characters, and on the turn that it's played, the opposing character from it cannot run or get sent to memory. So it's really good. Stops go to memory effects, anti-run on the turn it's played, also just 3500 beater. Solid card. We're going to up the Marring count to 4 because it's our primary way of getting advantage at level 0. So just really good card to have. And in order to make room for this, we are going to take out some stuff at the end. 4 copies of the Brainstorm is still good because we want to see that. We are also going to take out this Flare, 2 copies of this Flare. We're going to add 2 copies of this Flare, this Drop Salvage. The second effect is also pay 2. You can bounce one of your opponent's characters. That doesn't really come up too often, but it's nice to have just in case your opponent has some kind of card that you need to deal with. You can just play this, pay 2, bounce it away. So it's just good utility to have. You know, nothing too special, too crazy. We're mainly playing it for the drop salvage effect, so we can grab pieces when we need it, especially in the mid game. Since our Brainstorm is just a draw Brainstorm, we're not going to get too much selectivity off of that, so we do need other cards to get more selectivity. At level 1, we are going to basically get rid of a lot of cards because we want to make more room towards the top end for more of our pieces and also more soul triggers. So we're going to cut 2 copies of this 1-0 mounting. The 1-0 mounting is still really good. When she gets reversed, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a level 2 or higher, which we're going to run a lot of cards that are level 2 or higher, she can rest herself, so she's a coin flip. We call this effect, at least in my playgroups, we call it coin flip, and it just basically helps you get some extra advantage at level 1, just randomly. Obviously not something you want to depend on, but it's not bad to have. It's also just pretty big beater. Get rid of the vanillas, because those are not good. Keep the counters, and we're going to add 1 copy of this Flare stock Adachi, so this helps remove early play standby targets at level 1, or starts removing them at level 1, obviously can be used to remove them at level 2 as well. For our level 2 lineup, we're going to get rid of all our Pecoras, because our primary goal at level 2 is to be playing the Russias, so we don't want to spend stock on anything else. We do want to bump the flare count to 3 because we definitely need to see flare. We need to see the flare, we need to see the Noel brainstorm so we can do the effect and summon out the Russia. And we are going to keep our event count at 2. I think it's a solid number. At level 3 we are going to, let's move the event up here though, so we can have more room. At the bottom at level 3 we're definitely bumping Russia to max copies because this is the primary win condition of our deck. The great thing about Russia compared to other TD combos that get advantage and be summoned at 2 is that Russia not only gives advantage, but she also doubles as a finisher because she can shuffle clean cards back into your opponent's deck. Whereas if you compare it with the Subaru, where the Subaru does get cards for you, but because she doesn't finish, even though she does get power and she does give you advantage, she's not very good at level 3. Whereas Russia, you just keep playing the combo over and over again and she will eventually end the game for you as well because she'll shuffle a bunch of clean cards back into your opponent's deck. We're also going to be playing 4 copies of the Marin. The Marin is one of the summon targets off of the Russia because she can heal when she's summoned from the waiting room. She also has an effect when you attack with her, you can pay 1, ditch 1, choose up to 3 of your characters to get 500 and a soul. So that's also really good to modulate soul damage towards the end of the game to swing for lethal. We're also going to be playing 1 copy of this 3-2 Russia. This 3-2 Russia can be played without color requirement. When she is sent from the stage to the waiting room, you can return her to your hand and choose a Hololive character from your waiting room and send it to stock. So generally speaking, this is also a decent summon target if you want to hard remove something, because her last effect is a level 3 or lower clock bomb. So let's say you have something that you can't kill with like a Russia summon Marin or a Russia summon Russia, which Russia summon Russia is already like really big, so I don't really foresee any situation where you can't kill that. But you know, in the situation where you want to hard remove something, let's say it has hand encore and you just don't want them to be to hand encore, you can summon the Russia, you can pop them with the on reverse effect, and then afterwards when this gets sent to waiting room, this goes back to your hand so you didn't minus, and you get a stock from your waiting room, so it helps you build resources. So I think this is pretty strong. Good combo to have just in a pinch when you need to hard remove something. And the last card we're going to be playing is 1 copy of the 3-2 Flare. Now this 3-2 Flare is a cancel burn when she's played, and then when she's played you can also pay 1 and sack 1 of your other characters to give her an additional cancel burn. So it's like she can have 2 cancel burns on 1 body. It's great for finishing. Of course, you have to sack another one of your characters, and generally speaking, we want to keep our entire board at level 3. She's mainly meant to be played with this 0-0 Pekora that gets a marker, and then when you sack it, when it has a marker, it comes back. We're not playing the Pekora because we don't want to really dedicate slots outside of just kind of like the Flare, the Russia Flare Noel package. So we're just running 1 copy of this as a secondary finisher to close out close games, especially when your opponent is at like 3-5, 3-6, and you just want to have a lot of instances of lethal. And that's it for this deck. So hope you guys like it. This is definitely one of the strongest Hololive TD upgrades there is. It's very close to the meta deck. Just to make this meta, you can even keep the Flare combo in the meta deck. Some people are running that. You would just probably switch out some of the utilities for better utility cards from the booster set. In particular, you get to play 1-0 yellow Subaru because we can level blue at level 1 and have yellow to play. So that's definitely a really good line. Yeah, otherwise this deck is really strong. Definitely recommend you guys build this deck. Out of any of the TDs, this is the one to make. Hope you enjoyed this kind of content. We'll have the other Hololive TD videos out this week, so look forward to that. And I'll see you guys next time.